Hey, Matt. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Movies.
Movies who?
Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, the podcast where Matt and Todd go see a movie at our local Regal Cinema Theater, and then we talk about it from Matt's Xterra after the movie. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy, and welcome to this episode where we'll be sharing our thoughts about the movie we just saw, which is called Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island!
Yes. This is a movie based off the, I'm going to say 80s, maybe even 70s TV show.
I don't know.
Created by
70s.
Gene Levitt. And had Ricardo Montalban and a little person whose name I don't know, who played a character called Tattoo. And he's famous for saying, "The plane."
The plane.
The plane.
The plane.
Right. So, what's this movie all about? I guess I don't know a lot about what the TV show was about, but I think people came to the island and had fantasies, and that's about all I know about the original show.
Maybe, if that.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah. So sort of like dreams come true type thing.
Interesting tidbit, Matt. According to my source, there was a Fantasy Island movie before the show.
Oh.
That was, as he describes it, dark.
Interesting.
Yes.
Wow. That is an interesting tidbit based on what we just saw.
If he's to be believed, which I believe him, the source is my father.
Oh. Okay.
There's a movie that he describes as dark. Now I don't know what a dark movie according to my dad is, but
right.
And then the show, and then this movie. So
okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the movie we just watched. Some people come to Fantasy Island, and they are there because they won a contest, and they're going to have some kind of fantasy based on a questionnaire that they filled out. And it turns out that on Fantasy Island, the fantasy that you're given turns out to be incredibly real, seeming to pull in people from your actual life, real people, and you have experiences with them. So there's, I think, 4 or 5 characters in play who come there to have fantasies. And as things move along, the fantasies all in one way or another kind of degenerate into, much like a genie's wish, something you didn't really expect.
A monkey's paw.
Yes.
Yeah.
A monkey's paw.
Whatever that's, I don't think it's actually called a monkey's paw. Well, I mean, I know it's called a monkey's paw, but isn't that the legend of like that kind of thing? Is that you make a wish and then it doesn't turn out the way you want it or something?
I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
Father like son. Take my word for it. I don't know.
So anyway, these fantasies sort of start falling apart and acting in ways that aren't so fantastic. And then things kind of go on a trip from there. There's a lot of twists and turns after that. The fantasies start like intertwining with each other, and you don't know what's going on. And I liked it. I liked that I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, yeah.
So, without getting into my review, that's kind of the setup for the movie.
Spoiler alert for your review.
What did you think, Todd?
Well, first I have to clarify my monkey paw statement.
Yes.
Diving into my memory even more, the only reason I believe that is because of the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode where they get a monkey paw and they make the wishes and it turns out not to be good.
Well,
so
at least the Simpsons monkey paw, your statement is correct.
Okay, back to Fantasy Island. I really enjoyed the story of this movie. Like you were saying, it kind of starts as like a kind of wish gone awry kind of story like that, which could have just been it, but then it like really starts to twist and turn, and things are more connected than you think. And without being able to go further into that, you know, it kept me invested. I'll say that. Like, I think there were things in the movie that had that were negatives that could have easily taken me out of the movie, but the fact that the story was just kind of gripping to me really really was good. Some of the acting is not that great, and I think honestly, besides some no-name people who I was like, you're okay, but you're not that good, I was really disappointed in Michael Pena as Mr. Rourke. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Just to go from Ricardo Montalban, like I always thought, and whatever I've seen of like old clips or whatever, very like, I don't know, and I could be completely wrong. I've never actually watched an episode. I'm just going off of like what everyone believes about this show. Very like, I don't know, kind of a larger than life character.
Suave, sophisticated.
Yeah, suave, sophisticated, just like very smooth, and that was not Michael Pena. So I don't know if they were like, make it your own and do whatever you want, but there was no smoothness or suaveness, or I didn't even think they were like really at all. I mean, maybe they were like, let's get away from that because we're our own thing, but I don't know. I could have done a little bit more like suave. I mean, he didn't even tuck in his shirt. Like, it's like, come on, have some self-respect. you own Fantasy Island. So, yeah. So the story is really engaging. The acting is, there's some very by the numbers kind of jump scares that they throw in and stuff like that. But I feel like they really straddled the line of thriller and horror. Like
I was going to say that exact thing.
Yeah,
yes.
This is what happens when you do so many podcasts together. Man.
Yes.
Our minds are melding.
They are.
Like they never leaned too far into one or the other. They just straddled the line pretty nicely, I feel. If they had gone too far into horror, they probably would have lost me because I'm not the biggest horror person. But they kept it super engaging. So, yeah, I have a Hollywood crush on Maggie Q, so that was fine for me. And yeah, if someone was like, "Hey Todd, should I see this movie?" I'm gonna say, "Sure, go ahead." Like, I think it's a pretty engaging story. You know, there might be things you don't like, but honestly, for the kind of crap that comes out nowadays, this was a pretty tight story that I felt that someone really thought through. I mean, sure, there's probably holes here and there, but someone put in the effort for the story where it could have just been a who cares throwaway thing. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. If you're gonna ask me, go see it.
Okay. Well, like I spoiled in our opening preview of what the movie's about, I did like this movie. I do like horror, and I kind of like light horror bordering on thriller, and so this hit the sweet spot for that. It was such a relief after the last two absolute bombs that we had in the horror category. That we reviewed.
Turning and what was
the Turning and The Grudge.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, both real disappointments for the genre, but this was a nice tight little story. I kept thinking I knew what was going to go on, and especially at the beginning, I thought this is going to be like paint by numbers. The wishes go awry, all in different ways, and they end up all dead or whatever. But it wasn't that story. It was twists and turns and kept us engaged, and I liked it, and it hit my sweet spot for the type of horror thriller genre that I like as well. So yeah, I would say go see it too, and keep an open mind because it's not really what you think it might be.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you like movies that kind of you like to try to solve the puzzle yourself, I think this is a pretty good movie for you because the twisty turns are pretty good. I think you could probably solve the puzzle before the big reveal, but I don't really feel like I was there. I had some inklings, but I was not like sold on any kind of one thought process of that, and it was a nice kind of some twisty-turny reveals were nice.
We've been using twisty turns a lot.
Yeah.
That's
what this movie was.
Yeah.
It's a free world, man.
It is a free world.
So, yeah. All right. How many...
Seaplanes.
All right, that's a good one. That's a good, safe one. I almost said something that I was like, I got to pull back because that might be a slight reveal. So,
Right.
all right, how many seaplanes
Right.
would you give this?
Everyone gets to Fantasy Island via the seaplane. Unless you're kidnapped, then you might get there by a boat. But in general, guests of the island get there by seaplane.
Yes. Also, I never want to ride a seaplane, just in case
Fair
you
enough.
wanted to know about that.
Okay.
They seem like death traps to me.
Yeah. I do want to ride a seaplane,
Well,
despite it being a possible death trap.
I hope you have a good death, then,
Yeah,
when you
thanks.
ride your seaplane.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give this, and I feel like horror thriller sort of, for me, I grade on a curve a little bit because it's really kind of rare that you get something that you would say, this is a really good movie with
Right.
that type of genre. So I'm gonna give this a little bit higher rating than I normally would for the movie just on its merits, and I'm gonna give it 3.5 seaplanes out of 5.
Wow.
Yeah,
Ricardo Montalban would be proud.
he would be. He told me.
Is he still alive?
Not sure about that one.
Great. Yeah, I think I'm in the kind of like the 3.0 area. Like, I want to definitely tip it past halfway. I definitely want to tip it past that, and then give it a little extra because I just thought that some areas lacked, but in general, like, I was pretty engaged. I wanted to see what was coming and stuff like that, and I feel like it's not like, I don't want to make it sound like rare, like movies suck nowadays, but certainly in our experience in the past couple of months, I feel like I want to reward what turned out hard work.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm going to go above the 2.5, and I'm going to land on 3 with a thumbs up that says, hey, if you've got an afternoon or a night and you don't know what to do, why not go see it? Take a chance.
Take a chance.
Take a chance on me.
Yes. I was thinking that when I said that. So that's going to wrap up this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, where we review Fantasy Island. We gave it a decent grade, and we gave it, on average, 3.25 seaplanes out of 5 seaplanes. So pretty decent movie from our perspective. Thank you for listening to our podcast. Please continue to do so.
Da 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 da
Da-da.
da da da.
Da-da-da.